From Oswestry's local butcher to the nation's local butcher. We sat down with Tom Brown, aka the Meat Man, and spoke about everything from his journey, where he started, right through until today and the future. Check it out and let us know what you think in the comments.
This podcast is brought to you by Budgeon Motor Group, the family-owned dealership supporting Shropshire for over 45 years. With showrooms in Shrewsbury and Telford, they've got everything from new Citroën, Peugeot, Renault, Dacia and MG models to top quality used cars. If you're in the market for your next car, definitely check out Budgeon.
Tom, for our listeners who don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
My name's Tom Brown and I am the owner and director of The Meat Man.
Fantastic. For anyone who doesn't know what the Meat Man is, and I know we'll cover this shortly, but give us a little pitch of what the Meat Man actually is.
The Meat Man is a butcher shop / online / supermarket supplier. We started off 2009, me and my dad. Started selling out of the back of a van, to be fair. That's how the Meat Man come about. My dad had been a butcher all his life, and I'd been in logistics working for White Arrow, and he started doing some wholesale, so we were selling to pubs at the back of the van, sort of whole joints of stuff, whole cases of like top sides and beef fillets. And then we were going to like pubs and that, but they were asking for stuff to be cut, so sort of your 6 to 8 ounce, your 10 to 12 ounce sirloin steaks and stuff. So at the time we didn't have a premises because we just had a van. And we found this guy in Wrexham who had a sort of takeaway, but he had a bit of a butchery shop in the back. Yeah. And he started cutting stuff there for us, and about 6 months later he was actually cutting more for us than him for himself. So we sort of outgrown that premises, and we managed to find premises in Oswestry, which is the one that actually we're in now. So that's where we took on that location, started a retail shop, and then obviously carried on doing all the catering to all the hotels and restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. So if we go back to 2009, you said then, so why did your dad what was the idea behind the van initially? And because he was a butcher, was it like, right, I'm going to continue this and go off on my own, or how did that come about?
So he'd done his butchery like 60s, 70s, 80s and then 90s, and then he sort of come out of the butchery game a bit and then just started doing wholesaling. Yeah. So the idea was then, as he was getting offered these wholesale prices, he thought, actually I can go to a few of the butcher shops, which like he used to have because he had plenty of contacts. So then that's how the wholesaling through the back of the van started, before obviously we got our own shop again and we went into business together.
It's quite an old school method really, because long story short, my granddad used to have a greengrocer's in Basin Hill, but I remember growing up, he used to have a van and he used to have the back doors open. He used to have all the fruit and veg in his van, and he would basically go around neighbourhoods really slowly, kind of like an ice cream van in a weird way, and see who'd come out and say, yeah, this is what I want.
Well, I think that's how Alan Sugar started, I think with computer things out the back of his van, going around London doing that, so and so it all started like that.
And it's quite, when you talk about sales and being quite heavy and on the front foot, it's a ruthless kind of way, because if you don't get anyone coming out of the house or coming in,
exactly. But I remember like we had so many good times. How we come about the name of the Meat Man was, we didn't have a name. We were just obviously selling meat out of the back of the van, and we went into one of the restaurants, and one of the chefs said, "The Meat Man's here, the Meat Man's here," because obviously I had the Veg Man, the Milk Man. So that's how the Meat Man was actually born. It actually, one of the chefs had named it for us. So that was really good.
Had you worked with your dad before that, or was this something completely new when you started working together?
No, I hadn't worked with my dad before that. Obviously he'd been in butchery all his life, and then I went into the trading, but he obviously, I'm a bit of a chip on the old block. I'm just like him. I've learned everything off him. So he was buying stuff for his wholesale, and I was going to work at my delivery place, and I was actually selling stuff to the lads there. So obviously that's how we got into the sales, and then got together, and then we got the van, and then that's how it sort of snowballed from there.
What was it like working with your dad, especially those initial days? Because me and Scott always speak about this, about when you're family or having a business partner, obviously it's kind of added pressure on that one, you're closer, so you might actually bounce off each other a lot better or be honest, but also there's a slight risk there that if you fall out, if it goes wrong.
No, we got on great. It was never a case of ever falling out. We're very similar, and we have good fun, and we're both just happy-go-lucky guys, and we just bounce off each other. So it was easy, really.
So how long did you do that then before you thought, right, we need a shop, after you say you took over that?
Yeah, it was probably about 12 months. We had the van just on the road, and then just at that guy's place in Wrexham, just using that location for him to cut the steaks before we outgrown that. And then we decided, look, we need to get our own place. So we got the shop, and then we sort of kitted it out with 3 12-foot chillers, and then had it a bit more like a bit of a meat supermarket, so we were selling to the general public, but also at the same time we were still doing all the hotels and restaurants, which we started with. And then obviously as we went forward with the business, I could see that online sales was going to be the future. And obviously my dad's old school, because he used to be butchering on a bike when he was about 12, 13, going, you know, to Mrs. Jones with a bit of a lamb chop and a greaseproof paper on his bike. He would take it there, and he could never see that the future was going to be selling meat online. I was like, this is the way that, you know, this is the future. People are going to start doing this. They're buying everything online. I don't think meat will be any different. There's a way logistically getting meat to people's houses, so I think, you know, it's definitely the way to go. And he was like, no, it ain't going to happen, son. It ain't going to work.
Was he just like couldn't see it? Or
he just couldn't see it because he's such old school. He just couldn't see the future. So anyway, it come to the time where my dad was retiring, and you know,
what year was this?
So we've been online now 12 years.
Yeah.
So you know,
So if you
2014.
Yeah. Okay. So you had the shop then together for like good 5 years.
Yeah, we had the shop together for a good 5-6 years.
Just doing pubs, wholesale, and general public.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, all pubs, general public. And then obviously I made this decision that, you know, he was retiring, I bought him out, and I wanted to take the business online.
Was there anything in the back of your mind saying it wasn't the right thing to do?
No, not really. I think I always believe, you know, if I always work hard enough. If I set myself a goal, I'll always achieve it, because I'll just work hard enough to make sure, you know, people doubt me, just makes me more determined to do it, to succeed. So I never doubted it. I always believed in my own ability to make it grow.
And when you say online back then, what was the online landscape looking like? Are we talking about just purely having a website and just driving stuff to the website at the time, like no other marketing involved, just setting up
It was very basic. I mean, I remember setting up our first website. It was horrendous. It was pretty much, I can't even remember, was it WordPress or something like that? I can't remember what platform it was on. But it was basically just a landing page, a few products on there, pictures we just took on, I think, like our mobile phone with some steaks, and put some cherry tomatoes around it. Real basic, like terrible when you look back at it. But everybody's got to start somewhere. So yeah, we just got a website. And then we were just packing them on top of one of the chest freezers in the back, because obviously we were only doing like 2 or 3 a week, because obviously you had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So then obviously the next stage was obviously how we were going to market and get the brand out there.
Well, do you remember when that first online order came in?
Do you know what? I can't. It's such a long time ago. I can't remember I should do really, but I can't.
It'd be good to just try and find it.
Yeah, I'm sure we've got images of the old boxes and stuff like that. Now we packed them and that, but yeah.
Well, obviously you've probably built up a good local customer base of people who are coming in over those 5 years. And I know since, again, we'll come to it shortly, of when we started working with you, but the pushback, did you get any pushback from the actual locals of you shouldn't go online? Butchers, you know, everyone knows their local butcher of you just go in and see them and choose what you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we decided to keep the shop as well. Obviously, we didn't want to get rid of the locals, because I've always said that they got us to where we were. You know, that's how we started. I never wanted to get rid of the shop just to grow the whole online and just neglect them and leave them out of it, because I always said to my dad, look, they got us there. Yeah. We can't do that. So we kept the shop. And then obviously 18 months ago, we actually brought the shop into the 21st century, where we actually got rid of the shop but kept, if you know what I mean, as in, i.e. the new McDonald's. So we were the first butcher shop in the world to have a touchscreen kiosk. So people come in, order on the screen, wait a minute, and then we bring out fresh. And for, you know, that's really something to be quite proud of having one of them for the first time in the world as in a butcher shop. So
the actual premises itself, you mentioned you've always been there. How much has that developed over that time? I know obviously you just talked about the kiosk, but like the actual logistics in terms of what people might not see, but also has there been any room to say expand from what you've had? What's that look like?
Yeah, I mean, we're limited because it's 15,000 square feet, so we can't build on it, we can't go up, we can't go out sideways. Obviously we've got a car park at the front for 8 cars, but the square foot we got inside we've obviously had to utilise obviously with the growth of the online. So that helped obviously getting rid of the retail shop. That gave us more space then to grow the online and develop that room. We also built a walk-in freezer, which has helped obviously because we need to send ice cubes in, obviously with the fresh meat for the online orders. But overall, the layout hasn't really changed massively. We still got the butcher shop and the online packing room and the fridge room, all the same really. Unfortunately, we can't do anything as in expand it that way. The only next thing would be to relocating, but because we own the property, it's
Yeah.
it's a tough one to weigh up.
Yeah, definitely.
How's the distribution side of it changed then, in terms of getting the boxes out to people? From when you first had those few orders come in, what were you doing? And then fast forward it to today, how much has that evolved?
Yeah, a lot. Like I say, we started packing orders just on the back of a chest freezer in the hallway pretty much when we first started online. And now obviously we've created this big online room. So we started with a local company actually called APC, which are based in Shrewsbury, obviously the nationwide company. So they deliver everywhere. But what was happening as we were growing, the volume obviously was growing. And then what was happening, we were finding with obviously being perishable goods, you need to have it next day delivery, right?
Yeah.
So we found with APC, they were failing on that quite a bit. So we were getting quite a bit of waste. Obviously we weren't getting there. You're getting people emailing saying, I haven't had my delivery. And obviously they had it, whether it been missorted or, a vehicle breakdown, whatever, wasn't getting there. So we found we were having quite a few problems. And
the problem with the customer then, not the problem with the customer, sorry, but they automatically think it's your fault, right? Whereas
100%.
you do your bit, send it to, or give it to.
And that's what can be
supplier.
quite frustrating, obviously, as a business owner who's sending out fresh meat. We've done our bit, our end. We've cut and packed it. It's all fresh. It's all packed in with the ice. I mean, it's left at a depot.
Because for anyone who doesn't know, sorry Tom, jump in there, how you box an order is, you've got your box, you've got your polystyrene, is it?
Yeah.
Box, it's super chilled, you've got your ice packs in there.
Correct.
It's all wrapped up.
Yeah,
safe
so it's a
and
cardboard
ready to
out
go,
box, quite a thick ply, and then obviously we've got a big strong poly box inside, and then obviously all the meat's fat packed, all fresh, and then we put the ice packs in there, and that'll keep it chilled for 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously perishable goods we want to try and deliver next day, obviously to keep the freshness. But like I say, what we're having with a problem with ABC is that we were having a few delays and they weren't getting to the customer. The customer's getting frustrated and they're taking out on us, and we're trying to say, look, unfortunately it's one of them things. It's not our fault. We've done our job this end. It's just failed to get to you. So we had to look at another alternative, as in for the logistics. So obviously DPD, a big nationwide company, so we decided to go with them. They were offering next day pre-12 and obviously next day delivery, and also Saturday deliveries, which we never had.
Yeah.
So that gave the chance for the business to grow even more, having that Saturday delivery. Mm-hmm. So hence that's why we jumped over to them guys. Yeah, we still have a few problems. Everybody does, but overall they're very good and very reliable.
Mm-hmm. When did it? So if we go from 2009 where you started the online, was there a snowball effect? Was it kind of overnight where you're like, hang on, there's more orders coming in, or was it kind of right? Let's build it up slowly. What was?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we started out very small because obviously everybody's got to start somewhere. Like I said, it was a basic website, and I remember thinking to myself in the office one day, I was like, how am I going to reach all these people in the UK? I've got
because you deliver all over the UK.
Yeah,
right?
all nationwide. But we're a little company based in Oswestry with like a population of 16,000, but I've got 69 million people across the UK. I want to target them. How am I going to do it? So obviously on social media, them obviously was trending quite a lot. So I remember going on social media and I could see all these companies who were obviously having ambassadors and stuff like that. So I remember thinking to myself, if I get an ambassador, and I put a map up in the office, and if I get an ambassador in sort of every county, send them meat every month. If they got a good following on social media, 40, 50, 60,000, they do a promotional advert for us. We're going to target them, and obviously they've got followers and they're in the meat industry. They all eat protein, which is what they're doing. So I thought if I do that, that's a good way of starting to sort of getting your brand out there. And yeah, I remember I think we had 20 ambassadors across the UK who we sent meat to every month, and they promote it for us. And then we started doing the NEC Body Power Show, which in Birmingham, there's a massive show for obviously huge fitness guys. So we took our ambassadors down there. We had a big stand. We had a DJ and all this meat, and we were cooking on there and everything. It was brilliant, and that's sort of how it snowballed even more. Obviously, the name was out there. We were giving away T-shirts, doing press-up challenge, all these things, getting all the data for all the emails and stuff like that. So that's how we sort of went to the next level.
Give us a couple of ambassadors, or people might know.
Well, we went down the boxing route. So after the ambassador of the fitness, we went through all the matchroom boxers, Eddie Hearn's lot. So we had world champion Kell Brook. We had Charlie Edwards, who's a world champion. We had David Price. We had I can't even remember now. There was that many. We had Brian Rose.
Is this all stuff as well
Anthony
that
Fowler.
you took off your own initiative in terms of these were all your ideas? You talk about going to the NEC, the shows and stuff like that. Is that all conversations you kind of had with yourself in terms of?
Yeah, I mean, everything that's pretty much happened in the business is that since the online growth is pretty much from my idea, because obviously my dad retired, and then obviously you're independent then, and obviously you've got great staff around you, but they're not the ones who sort of the brains who are thinking of the online and the, you know, the ideas of the marketing and stuff that. So everything was pretty much down to me, and I found myself doing pretty much everything. So we were working long days, and it does get a lot. But I knew the way the business was going to go, and I wanted to be purely online because, say, there's 69 million potential customers out there. So why wouldn't one of you do that?
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So
I think your industry, more than anything as well, kind of showcases the fact that you have to think to the future in terms of not just this is what our industry does, so this is what we're going to do. You always strike me, and it obviously goes to show that you're always thinking what is coming, what can we do differently, because that will then pay dividends in the end in terms of the end result. Because like I say, to the everyday person, a butcher might just be a butcher. Your local butcher, it's only going to go as far as 16,000 people, but you've always had that vision of what it can be. Like you say, I doubt there's going to be that many butchers that were having those thoughts of 69 million people that need meat.
yeah, correct.
Everyone wants to eat.
Yeah, and I've always thought that, you know, I'm not saying that I'm clever, but I always think I can see what's going to happen. I've always had that in the back of my mind. I can see what's going to happen, whether it's in business or everyday life and sort of stuff. And yeah, you're right. How many butchers shops across the UK are not doing online sales is just bonkers. Why wouldn't you want to do it? You know, even through Facebook pages, you know, we get orders through that, and it's pretty simple, really. It's not hard, but how much we turn over now online is huge compared to just the retail. So I think, well, why wouldn't other butchers want to do it? And then actually during lockdown, during COVID, other butchers actually, they obviously had to use their initiative and started going online. So they did, but they've come and gone because obviously whether, I don't know, they didn't get the logistics right, the website wasn't before, I don't know, they've fallen by the wayside. So like, you know, we're up there with the big names of Muscle Food and, you know, people like that as one of the biggest UK fresh meat online suppliers, which is great.
Yeah, massive. And going back to ambassadors, sorry, just on,
Okay.
I think leading on your point as well, Scott, is that we have conversations with some people where it's like, look, just to gift a product or what that cost you at cost price to reach their audience of all, like you said, 50,000 followers, potentially all customers, getting your brand out there, which might cost you, what, you send them a box a month? Or
Box a month, yeah. Which is like hardly anything.
Hardly, and the upside of that, if it works, but also like you said, going to the NEC, ambassadors, trying out new things in business, and we're the same. You've got to try it because you don't. If you haven't got the data of what actually, it might not work, but at least you're giving it a go and being like, okay.
100%. I mean, I think with the boxers at the beginning of the Matchroom lot, we were sending a box of meat, whether it's £100 worth, whatever, but they're putting our logo on their shorts and on their t-shirts, and that's going on Sky Sports in front of millions of people. Now there's people paying sponsors on their shirts who are paying hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, thousands.
But it was convenient for them because obviously athletes, best athletes in the world, they're eating pure protein and they want it. So it was convenient for them to get it delivered to their door. Do you know what I mean? So it was a great addition for them, and also it was brilliant for us.
How did that outreach come about in terms of how,
So
Matchroom's obviously a big
Yeah,
household
sure.
name,
So the first boxer I reached out to was Brian Rose, who's Brian the Lion Rose, who I think he won European or Commonwealth, I can't remember. And I just messaged him through Twitter years and years ago. I've probably still got the message on there. I remember reaching out and saying, hey, Brian, you know, we're a fresh meat company. Wondered if you want a box of meat. Send it out, and, you know, it'd be nice if you could put our logo on your kit. And he just replied saying, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. So I remember went down to see him in Manchester. His coach actually was Bobby, I can't remember, is it Bobby Rimmer? And he's Ricky Hatton's old coach. Actually, we had Ricky Hatton at one point as well. And yeah, I went down to see him, and I got talking to him, and he goes, well, obviously I knew a few of the other lads in the Matchroom. So he put me in touch with them on social media, and then we had loads. Anthony Fowler, who was an amateur at the time, obviously then went on to do really well. It's got
just a proper snowball effect.
Snowball effect, yeah.
But when your product's good though, that's the difference as well. When you've actually got a product which is not just good, great, obviously, people naturally are going to tell people about it.
100%.
And for that industry, they're all probably cane and meat, being honest, aren't they, and getting through it. So, of course, they're going to...
Yeah, I mean, we're quite lucky being where we are located in Oswestry. We've got two really big abattoirs in, you know, sort of 15-mile radius, so we're using Shropshire beef. So it's great. It's a great USP when we're selling local beef, which people obviously like. But yeah, back to the ambassadors, they were the big starting point for the Meat Man.
Yeah. When we'll come on to say when Evolve started and joined you, but before that, even when did you start thinking, do you know what, I'm going to put my face to this, or put yourself on camera and build more of a brand around the Meat Man and yourself?
Yeah, so It originated, so we had our first logo and it was terrible. It looked like a cartoon character. It was just the meat man in some terrible green text. It wasn't even an image or logo on there. And again, that was just early stages. Everybody got to start somewhere. And it worked. It worked for a little while. It was okay. And then obviously, again, I was forward thinking, look, we've got to go up market. We're selling a great product, but our image and our logo is not good enough for what we're selling.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously went back to the drawing board and was like, I need to do something. I need to make it this logo better, more premium. And I got in touch with a local guy who, he'd come up and he said, I'll come and do a new logo design for you. And I had no intention of putting my face to the meat man. It was not, everybody thinks, I bet you love having your face on that. It wasn't because of that. I didn't say, look, put my face on it. The guy who come to did it was, we were chatting away and he goes, just go and stand over there and just cross your hands for me, he said. So I just did that. He took a photo and then he come away and did all this, the sketch and changed it all. And then the next week he sent me this image. He goes, what do you think about putting your name to it here? I was like, that looks pretty good. I quite like the personal touch. Everybody can put, a face to the name. Mm-hmm. And it sort of just went from there really. And then we designed the different colours. We started off with green on the meat man with the new logo. And then recently we've just upgraded to the black and gold, just a bit more premium. Mm-hmm. So yeah. That was good.
It does make sense though with the, I know it's stating the obvious, but the name, the meat man, if there is a face to it, the two intertwine perfectly, don't they? If it's just the meat man but a faceless brand, then no one can kind of resonate with that. And it still has that, I always think with your brand, it still has that hyper-local feel of if you went to your butcher's, it's Tom the Butcher, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's still that association with your traditional butcher with the branding, although you're nationwide now, it's
funny because I remember when we contact one of the ambassadors and they actually seen my face for the first time, they go, oh my God, I was expecting like a big fat Fred Elliott as a butcher, because that's how everybody thinks as a butcher, sausages around the neck, mm-hmm. But yeah, when I put the face on the logo, I think it sort of changed everything. It just felt a lot more personal. It was great interacting with people and they sort of see you, and hence we did, social media, putting me in it more rather than just images of products, so it worked well.
Yeah, and that's something, again, before we even started you, and we obviously advise our clients or try and get the faces or founders or staff members on camera, but you were already doing it way before probably social media was actually a big thing, right?
Yeah, it was, yeah. We were definitely doing that, yeah.
Where did you, obviously you speak about ideas and always innovating, where did you get your ideas, or was it just late at night in the shower? My best ideas are in the shower, to be honest. But.
It could be anywhere, and I just make notes on my phone and say, look, this idea's come through, and you're just thinking to yourself, because obviously you're always working away, but you're always thinking at the same time when you're in your own business, right? So you guys will know that, and you just have these random moments when just some eureka moment and it just goes off in your head and you're like, I'm going to try that. And if you don't try it, you'll never know. Mm-hmm. What's the harm of ever making an idea and giving it a chance? I think that's the problem. A lot of people in business, they're not willing to do that leap of faith and really go for it, where we put everything into going online. Might not have ever worked, but I always believe that I can do anything, like I said to you, and reach that goal.
How many hours were you putting in?
A lot at the beginning. Yeah. I remember, we start at 4:30 every morning, and sometimes I remember being there 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I do that for a few years. I do think from 30 to 40. I know I probably don't look at that age, but between 30 and 40, that 10-year stretch, I just feel like it just went in a blur because I was working so hard to get the business, off the ground online, because I said I really believed that was going to work. Because
a lot of people, I'm sure you get it now, where you're like, wow, you're flying. Or you might get the odd occasion, you're so lucky. But
they only see the big picture, don't they? Mm-hmm. They see the house, the car, all the things that are just immaterial, really. I mean, they don't actually see the hard work. I mean, I don't pass many people at 4:30 in the morning going to work. So what are they doing? Sleeping while I'm working. Mm-hmm. I'm grafting, and I've worked long hours to do it. And, you only get out what you put in.
How, in terms of going from two of you to one of you, just going back to your dad, how was it then coping with everything really on your own?
It was hard. Obviously, I'd learned everything from my dad. My dad's one of the, the biggest, my biggest hero. I'd learned everything from him, and it was an honour to work alongside him and then learn everything off him. I like everything from sales, the way of talking to people, and I learned everything because I hadn't been in the meat trade. Because obviously my dad had been a butcher so I'm not a butcher. I can do bits, but I was never a butcher like my dad. So I'd learned everything off him, obviously the meat, and then. He'd obviously been in business, had his own butcher shop, so obviously I learnt then figures. I was always, pretty bright at school, but actual business side is everything I learnt from my dad. So once he retired, I thought, you know what, it's me now, I've got to do it. I can't rely on anybody else, everything's on me. So you've got to work that extra hard, haven't you? Because you haven't got anybody else to rely on. Obviously, my wife's part of the business, a huge part of that, and she works in the online team. And then we've obviously got other good members of staff who all work together. But when it comes to all the business sides, or the figures, or the buying, I'm sort of doing everything. So it was pretty difficult, but we got there.
How has the team grown over the years? Obviously, like you say, you've got a good solid team now working behind the scenes. What does that look like, and how's that grown?
So I remember when we started off, it was me and my dad. I think we had about 3 other people when we first started with the shop, and then just a few supermarkets, maybe 5 or 6. And now we've grown. We've got 15 staff now. So obviously we've grown quite a bit. There's potential to grow even more, like I said, because there's so many potential customers out there. But being in the location we are, 15,000 square feet, it might be a case where we need to either relocate or do night shifts or whatever like that, But there's huge scope for the business to grow.
Yeah, perfect. So if we come to Evolve, obviously we partnered with you, I think it's October 24?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I think it
Sounds
was.
about right.
I think it was.
Yeah.
So I say that, I did my research before, obviously. It's
Okay,
just at the top of my head.
Obviously.
Just drop it in like that. I think it was. Why? Obviously, when everything was, on the face of it, doing well, and with how innovative you are, you were growing it yourself. Why did you think, you know what, now's the time I need to look at getting an agency in? Or did you work with someone before that?
I think we dabbled with a local company who'd just done a bit of social media for us for maybe 6 months, but it wasn't what I wanted. And the hence for reaching out to you guys is obviously I said, because I was doing everything, I was doing the buying, I was doing the invoicing, I was doing the phone calls, I was doing sales, and all of a sudden I'm doing social media, and then I'm doing websites, and I'm like, look, for this business to grow, you need people to help, you need professional people in that industry. I can't do everything. And I remember seeing one of the accounts that you do, one of our local ones, obviously Amber's Pizzas, that is one of your accounts, and I reached out to them and said, look, I can see you're doing social media with Evolve, and they're either in Shrewsbury, what they like, give me some honest feedback, because I want someone to come on board with us. And fair enough, they said, no, they're great. So that was good enough for me. I reached out to you guys, and we come and had a meeting, and sort of...
Yeah, remember you come to the old office, right? It's funny, I can't remember if we told you or not, but obviously we ran Amber's Pizzas accounts. So when that message came in, I saw that message.
Okay, because you've seen the social media.
I replied, obviously.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you? Okay.
But I saw the message, and I said to Scott, I was like, wow, what an account this would be.
Yeah.
But obviously then we were left in the... Obviously, I couldn't say anything to Amber, because obviously I'm not going to say, hey, put in a good word.
Yeah.
You'd hope she would, and luckily... Well, not luckily, but obviously she did.
I didn't know that. That's the first time you told me.
No,
Okay.
I saw that message come through, and I was like, wow, hopefully Amber speaks nice enough words about us, which obviously she did.
I think it's probably
would have been funny if it was me, wouldn't it? Replying to that.
Or just a one word from Amber. Terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
That would have been an awkward conversation. Don't do it, Tom.
No, but to be honest though, I mean, since I have been with you guys, I'm not just saying it now because we're on here, but honestly, it's probably one of the best things that we've done as a business, as in because the growth since you guys have joined. It's all down to you guys, really. Obviously, I know I do my end, but you guys have really done it and took us to the next level.
What were you? Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that.
That's all right. I wasn't fishing.
No, I was just thinking about. I remember having a phone call with you after you'd been to the office about paid ads in particular.
Yeah.
And you were saying, I'm not sure how it's going to work, and a bit. I'd say, from my point of view, a bit sceptical in terms of the paid side of things.
Sure.
From your point of view, what were your view on paid ads before we joined, and did you think it would have the impact that it's had now?
The paid ads has worked unbelievable. Like, we've never done paid ads before. Again, because one, I've never sort of gone down that route. I don't really know what I'm doing when it goes sort of that side of it. Yeah. I'm not even on Facebook myself personally. I never have been. So I was unfamiliar with that, and obviously when you started doing our paid ads, we just seen a massive increase in sales, and you got to speculate to accumulate, right? So I know it's a lot of money going out, but you also see a lot coming in. So best thing we ever did.
And we have, obviously it's the same with, say, other clients, again, leading back to it, where we're trying to explain paid, but until you actually give it a go, it's quite hard to really see what's out there. But for yourself now, you're spending, say, a serious amount of money daily on ads, but I'm pretty sure we started with £15-20 a day, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Because again, if you work backwards from a margin perspective, work out your lifetime value of a customer, you can probably see how much you're willing to spend to acquire a customer. Are you willing to spend £1, £2, £3?
100%.
And then once you've got the right creative, and once you know, right, we're getting customers for £2. Are you happy, Tom? You're like, yeah, of course. Then you can scale up and start spending more.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, like, if it's costing you £2, £3, £4, £5, right, you get that customer, but that customer is potentially going to be a repeat customer. So you've got that customer for life. Obviously, if you've got a good product and they're happy with it, they're going to stay with you. So it's the best thing you've ever done. You've got to spend money to, to do the adverts, to get it to come back into you.
But also, it's even I get surprised, not surprised, but like when I even look at the data, I'm like, when the email signups, if we run a simple competition for you, like the amount of email signups you get, which again you can further market to, is
the Christmas ad you run for us, we got like 1.2 million views, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's phenomenal. How could you reach 1.2 million people in a little shop in Oswestry Street?
Yeah,
it's the power of social media. If you're not doing it, you're getting left behind. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. We speak a lot, and we were speaking off air before, weren't we, about you're the perfect client for us the most important thing is trust, right? So obviously you trust us to obviously come up with the ideas, work with a team, do our jobs and do what you brought us in to do. But where's that come about in terms of, one, the trust, but the buy-in essentially of, one, your ideas sometimes are crazier than ours and we love it and take it on board, but not, obviously, what's the word I'm trying to say? Not be embarrassed to be on camera, or just think, you know what, this is who I am, and this is...
Yeah, that's it. And like I say, putting my face to the brand, that you just can't be too embarrassed about it. At the end of the day, you're growing a business, and you've got to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter, if there's a picture of a monkey on there. It doesn't matter. If you're going to grow the brand, do it, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day,
And it's like, so we always say it again, is so many traditional businesses, or just businesses full stop, they think of it as a corporate platform, and it's an entertainment platform. So you really get it in a sense of, whether it's you, the team, or whoever else, we're there, especially organically, to create entertaining content that, regardless of whether they're ready to buy meat or not, if they're on their phone, they want to see you doing your silly dance, or rap into a mic.
And you know what? So many people come up to me saying, I love your videos. Now, whether they buy meat or not, if it makes people happy, I'm happy. And it's all brand awareness at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, say, you guys come over every couple of weeks with a list of stuff. I haven't got a clue what you're telling me to do. I just do it. From wearing a Santa outfit to a Grinch outfit to,
chasing a sheep around the field in the snow.
The field, singing, whatever. I'm the worst dancer, I'm the worst singer in the world, but I'll do it because it's just good content and people love it.
Yeah, definitely. Remember the first time we come to you, and this is one of your ideas, but the Scouse.
Oh, this was from
so going back to actually your new till system.
The new kiosk system,
so we'll come to that and talk about the new kiosk system. But wasn't it? We all came again because we had a bit of a strategy meeting, didn't we? And you were like, I've got a great idea to promote the kiosk.
Yeah.
And obviously I was all for it and thinking, I was like, right, if this is what's to come, brilliant. But what was the idea was?
The idea was obviously to advertise the new kiosk system, obviously how it worked for customers who weren't aware of like these touchscreen kiosks they have in McDonald's. Obviously we've got one now in the retail store. So the idea was that I would play two characters, obviously me being the meat man in the shop and then me being a Scouser shopping in the new kiosk, because obviously I'm from the Wirral, I can do a bit of a Scouse accent. So obviously the idea was that the Scouser comes in, starts doing his, you calm down, and then starts playing on the kiosk using it, and then I'm in the back going, you okay there? And then it just good content, and I think I had another thousands of views.
Yeah, it was a great video.
Yeah, that was a good kickstart.
I remember because we were speaking through the idea, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. And then when you came in, you had your hood up. You had Stone Island
on North Face or something like that,
and his Crocs.
And when that first Scouse accent came in, I was like, yeah, we're on for a winner here. Yeah. That was probably one of my favourite videos.
All a bit of fun.
On the kiosk then, so just for anyone who doesn't understand, you stripped back the retail, didn't you?
Yeah.
When was that? Was
so that's like nearly 2 years ago now. So we had a couple of 2,000 square foot probably retail space with all the chillers right round.
People could come in.
Yeah, people could come in as a normal shop.
Pick and choose what they
pick and choose. So you go along the shelves, pick up your fresh meat there and then. But obviously, overheads and stuff. So we were using spending a lot of money on electricity. So obviously the big chillers are running 24/7 because obviously you're leaving them on display. Obviously with the curtains at night when you pull them down to keep them chill. So I think at the time we were paying £5,000 a month for electric, and we were like, this is bonkers, So obviously again, using your business house, how can we change it? And I was thinking, and the McDonald's just at the time had brought in their kiosk, and I was thinking, wonder if we could ever do that for meat. And I was like, again, another bizarre moment. No one's say we're the first butcher shop in the world to have it. So wonder if that would work with meat, if we had it in the fridge, or we can cut it fresh for when they come in, when they pre-order, and then they can just bring it out for them, and then that'll get rid of the fridges in the shop. That'll probably save a couple of grand because they're running. So I thought, again, leap of faith, let's just do it. I just sort of took the fridges out. That then gave us a huge space to grow the online room. Got the kiosk in, and then, now the customers just come in, up and down on the kiosk, press it, and we bring it out from.
And are they
Simple.
actually the same kiosks as what you get in McDonald's?
Yeah, they're the same screen. You obviously just have all your software designed just for you. So yeah.
What about the pushback from, say, local, what did you say, Mrs. Jones across the road, who's always, every week she'll come in, she'll pick a rump steak and she'll give it a squeeze.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, listen, you're going to get the older generation who loves, they want to see it, they want to smell it, they want to squidgy it, they want to, they like to see it, don't they? Mm-hmm. But younger generation, us, you come in and you're not bothered because now you've all been educated anyway with the touchscreen. You don't actually see it, you just see your product on the screen and order it. It is simple, and it's the same product. We're trying to explain, look, it's the same product, but the way of shopping for it is just completely different. It's actually the same product. So they know they've been shopping with us for years, all the locals, so they know what they're getting. Mm-hmm. But we did get the older generation who weren't happy with it, and we probably lost some customers at the end of the day, but the way the online was growing, it was fine to cover that.
How has that, just for context, how has the percentage switched over the years to online sales to in-store?
Let's go back to maybe when we started online. So obviously it was zero, and we were probably doing 60% retail, 40% catering. And now fast forward to 2026, I'd probably say we're doing 85% online, 10% retail and 5% catering. Just because it's just the natural growth in it. And it's just easy, it's a lot easier. It is. I know we say we have a few problems with the logistics sometimes, but it just definitely seems the way to go.
But how many orders are you kicking off over December, for instance?
December, I think we did just over 2,000.
Yeah, incredible.
You're not going to do 2,000 orders in your retail store in December.
And naturally, you're not going to do 2,000 orders and not get one problem. So
exactly, yeah. I mean, you always have a problem, but at the end of the day, it's how you deal with it as a business. And, you only have to check out our Trustpilot reviews rated excellent on there, with over, I think, 7,500 reviews. And to have that is brilliant because it's not like you're just buying a pair of trainers from JD, right, and it's just one product. In your meat ham, you're probably getting about 20 different products. Yeah. So you're getting actually reviewed on all of them overall. So I think, building up that rapport with the customers on the Trustpilot is massively, and,
Yeah, just like you said then, I'm sure the listeners probably will check you out by now, but you've got different hampers, you can build your own hampers, right? Loads of different products. So so every order is different.
Yeah, exactly. So you build your own hampers, you got your gym hampers, you got your barbecue hampers, you got your family hampers, all them different things, which is obviously all different meats bundled up and then discounted, so you do get it a bit cheaper. Then obviously you got all your steaks, all your chicken, all your pork, all your sausage, all the different things. Dead easy to shop online. Simple.
Yeah.
And as you've got bigger and you think of the actual product itself, have you ever been worried at times in terms of making sure you're maintaining like the quality control of the actual product that you're selling? Has that ever been a stretch at times?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got like 5 butchers in there, so obviously QC is important because obviously, you sell rubbish once and people don't come back. Mm-hmm. So you've got to make sure you're sending out a good product. And as I say, going back to the Trustpilot, I think that tells it for everybody to see. Yeah. And you do have problems, a steak might get there and the bag's blown during the journey where it's got damage in the box when DPD delivering it or something like that. But you just no, sorry about that, we'll refund it. And then the customer will think if you deal with that straight away, they're going to come back because that's what you want. I know we've had it in the past. We had a sofa from Next. We had about 15 years. We rang up and said, something's coming undone, and they sent us a new sofa. And I'm like, that's the customer service we want. So we'll always go to Next. Yeah. And I think when you start being a business like that, you're always going to have a lifetime customer.
Yeah, well, even when obviously we manage all the messages and things like that, but most of I'm pretty sure every time we'll send you saying, hey Tom, someone's messaged this, and you've already sorted it.
I think because what happens is people who want a response, they'll send a message on Facebook, they'll send a message on Instagram, and they'll send an email. So they try and get you from everywhere because they want a response right away. People love, if you've got a problem, you want to answer straight away, don't you? So we do. I mean, I'm up at night replying to emails and messages on Facebook, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I reply on a Sunday because that's what it's like. I love having that customer service. Mm-hmm. I think, you look after them and they look after you.
Do you ever get the surely you can't still be working now, or come on, put your phone down, stop working
all the time. Can't help it.
No, well,
even on holiday, because you can do everything remotely now.
Yeah.
I say because I can control the website, and on my phone you can just do so much there now.
yeah. But when it's your own business, I'm sure you're the same. I'm the same. But you can't. If you've seen something for one, you're not putting your phone down.
No,
there,
you're not. You're
responding
replying to it
it's
straight
in your
away. You
head.
just can't leave it, can you?
leave it. But when
Because
it's
it's got to be
baby,
you, because no one else is going to do it for you, are they? You know what I mean? You've got to do it yourself.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's going bad or good. It's either way is fueling that hunger to keep working, isn't
100%, yeah. I love it. I love the buzz of it.
Yeah. So from 2009, where I was 16, 17 years then, what a couple of things that's changed the most, apart from, say, online, what has it gone? Two questions. What's changed the most? And then has it gone to plan? Would you say, if you were now in 2019 putting that plan, right, where are you in 17 years, would you guess you where you are today?
I always believed I was going to do what I wanted. I had a target in mind, what I wanted to turn over per year, and we've overachieved that this year, so that's great. Obviously, we had that number in my mind, and I'm really pleased with that. One thing that's changed the business, I don't think I've ever told anybody, but we went on Dragon's Den about 7 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
We went on Dragon's Den. Well, it wasn't aired, but
so you got through. We got through.
We were in front of all
for the Meat Man.
Yeah, for the Meat Man, and at the time I had a health food bar.
Yeah.
So I was doing like healthy meals in the food bar, and I had the Meat Man, and I went in together as a dual business, because I was saying there's so much obesity in the world, there's no healthy places to go and eat. You've got your McDonald's, you've got all your fast food, Subway and all that sort of stuff, and I was like, look, there's nowhere to go and have healthy meals, like. So I had a health bar in Ossory just down the road from the shop, and used to like pick a protein, pick a carb, pick a veg, and obviously build your own sort of meal. Like, actually, you'll have salmon, rice and whatever sort of stuff, and it was sweet potato, and then we're doing all the protein drinks and all that stuff. And it was going really well in Ossory, but obviously trying to juggle two businesses at the same time was hard. But I could see that the gap in the market for healthy, a good brand across the world or across the UK, like a McDonald's, but doing healthy, because there's not, is there?
No,
there's nowhere to have it. So that's what started that. And obviously I thought, if I had all these branches doing healthy food and the Meat Man serving it, it's another business, isn't it?
Definitely.
So yeah, obviously I went on Dragon's Den. I don't think I wasn't allowed to tell anyone for years. So yeah, we got on there. It was live, but it never got onto TV. But yeah, we had Peter Jones, Deborah, Theo, and all them sort of guys, and me and my dad went. It was actually the time, so it must have been 10 years ago when me and my dad then, because he was still with us. So yeah, it's 10 years actually. And one of the things that made me change is one of the guys that they said, well, I think Peter Jones owned a sausage company or something like that. Deborah wanted to buy more local. I can't remember what Theo said at the time. I can't remember, but I think the thing that drove me was that them saying that, turning you down, that just gave me more fuel, and it made me more determined to succeed. So hence your question, I've got where I am because that's added the fuel to the fire to make me to believe that I can get to that goal and sort of prove them wrong.
Yeah, fantastic.
And now I feel like, I'd like to go back and say, well, look, you turned me down, but we're turning over some good money now, and we're a serious business, so you've missed one there.
Hopefully they're seeing some of your ads and being like,
well, let's hope so.
That's a great story then.
So yeah, I've never told anyone.
How
that
nervous
before.
were you before go? I watched Dragon's Den.
Yeah, we've all, obviously if you're in business, you watch Dragon's Den, right? I haven't watched it for a long time now, probably since I've been on there.
Been against it.
But yeah, when you go in that lift sort of thing, and all the bit before when you're sitting in the waiting area to go through. There's a lot of things you have to do before to get there. Yeah, but as soon as them elevator doors open and you just see the five of them sitting there, and you walk across and you start doing.
Yeah. Can you remember what you pitched in terms of percentage and what you wanted?
Do you know? I can't remember. Yeah. I say it's probably 10 years ago. It's got to be. I think I stumbled at one point and got my words confused. But obviously having my dad there, like I said, backing me up. I think he took over and then we come back. But we were fine after that and we got through it. But yeah, they just decided. I think they sort of said, I think you need to concentrate more on one business, trying to have two.
Yeah,
I think that was on the reason why we got rid of the health bar in the end. I concentrated purely on the Meat Man, but yeah, them sort of turning you down sort of made you more determined to succeed, and that added fuel to me.
The actual process from intrigue from a viewer's point of view, when you go out of that lift and straight in, are you straight to it and then they're straight feedback, or is there lots of cuts to stops? And
no, you're straight in there. There's no cuts or stops. As soon as that elevator door opens and you walk through, you just stand there and they're ready, they're sitting there with their legs crossed and their stack of cash here, and you're going through going, you obviously don't know what you're going to do. You're either going to come out there 5 dragons saying yes or 5 them saying no. But yeah, it was a good moment, good experience, and I think it made us the person I am today to make me more determined to succeed.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really cool.
Great story. I can't believe you haven't got any footage.
Yeah, I mean, well, I say it didn't go on air, but surely it's got to be in an archive somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
got to be.
Well, that's a social video anyway. We'll recreate it.
Yeah,
we'll
we
all
should
be a
do.
judge,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that'd be good.
And we'll try and upset them, and then they'll be able to see the video. I've asked you what you're most proud of. With pressure now, and say the more you grow, kind of when you hit, say, each target, do you feel more pressure, or is it kind of like, right, keep going? Do you ever think about that?
I don't. I mean, we're sort of getting to the stage where we're sort of outgrowing where we are, and I think if we took on more business, I don't want to jeopardise the quality and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can try and rush and get more orders, and all of a sudden your quality sort of slackens a little bit. So I'm quite happy doing the numbers where they're doing at the moment. Mm-hmm. Now, just see what the next stage is for the Meat Man, whether we move the location, whether we do a night shift, who knows? But at the moment we're ticking along great, and I don't want to sort of jeopardise the quality by having too many orders where we fail as well. So I never want to do that.
Yeah. That's again, you could easily get carried away, right? And be like, right, keep going. And then, like you said, you'll...
Yeah, and that's it. So I worked so hard all these years to get it where it is now. Why do you want to take too many orders on where you're going to let people down? I mean, it takes 5 minutes for people to leave 1-star Trustpilot reviews, and you can kill your business overnight. So stick to the numbers we're doing. Keep everybody happy, and I think that with natural growth, whether we decide to say do night shift or relocate, that would probably be the next stage of the Meat Man.
And just stick to your foundations, like you said there. If you're doing everything you've always done since day one, and you're doing it well and really believe in it and replying to people, then
don't change if it's not broken, right?
What excites you most about what's coming, or for the next year, say 2026? You've got bigger plans in place?
I don't know. I'm not far off retiring, am I? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows what you're going to be doing? What are you guys going to be doing in 12 months? Who knows?
It's one of the worst questions I feel like I get asked is, what's your plans for the next 3 years? I'm like, do you know what? I don't know. Obviously, you've got some goals that you want to set, but like you said before, ideally you set your 3-year goals to smash in the first year. So,
what about personally? You love your golf, don't you? A bit more golf?
Yeah, love my golf. We've got a caravan up the coast, up by Abu Dhabi and Tawin. So yeah, I play up there quite a bit. I've also done a bit of part-time caddying on the tours and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not
because when we come to your office, you've obviously got your pictures, but people don't realise, do you?
No. I've done a bit of part-time caddying on the tour for about 5 years actually now. So yeah.
Doing it this year?
I don't know if I got time. I only did a few last year. We've got a new caravan now, and I love spending time up there. We've got a new puppy, so I don't think I'll be spending too much time away from home this year caddying.
When you go away, do you switch off, or I know you said you still...
No, I'm terrible really. I mean, I've got a laptop at my caravan. I've obviously had Wi-Fi installed there, so I can work from there, and I'm terrible. But again, I think that's when you've worked so hard to build your baby up, you don't want it to fail, so you've got to be on top of the emails. You've got to be on top of the replies on Facebook and Instagram. You've got to do things. I'm buying and selling all the time because the amount of meat we're selling. Obviously we need to be buying it as well. So I'm on the phone daily to the abattoirs and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't switch off. I don't think anybody in business ever switch off.
But I think it's a trick question sometimes. I'm like, do you actually want to either? Because say, I don't know, if I went away for a week and didn't speak to you, for instance, and turned my phone off, the anxiety would kill me inside, and I wouldn't actually probably have a good time. But I find on holiday or whenever I go away, that morning check-in or speak to you or just knowing everything's good, then I can relax. Yeah. Those 2 hours of relaxing or 3 hours is much better knowing that everything's...
Yeah, I'd rather know what's going on. Even when I'm on a day off, I'll say to the lads at the work, let me know if there's any issues. But then I say remotely, I've got my phone and my emails and the website on there, so can't help it. I can see I've got the cameras everywhere. If there's anything not right, I'm looking at hey, the bins aren't out. That bin needs, you know what I mean? So
you've got a little speaker you can go on the cameras.
Yeah. I've done that before now. Yeah. I have done that. I've texted them, hey, get that in the fridge.
What, in terms of the brand, the Meat Man, what do you want it to... If someone doesn't know you personally or finds it, how do you want it to be kind of perceived, and what do you want it to stand for?
The Meat Man, I want it to be seen, I'd like it to be a household name. I'd love it to be a household name. I would want everybody to know the Meat Man. And there's no reason why it can't, but I say it's just how much we can do physically at our depot where we are now, whether I don't know whether in 5 years a company bought it and took it to the next level, you know, made it bigger, because obviously, you know, that'd be probably the natural process. But the Meat Man, I would like it to be known as fresh meat delivered straight to your door. We are the nation's local butcher, which is probably the best little subtitle you can have under a brand. I mean, and again, the guy who designed the logo come up with that, the nation's local butcher. I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, solid.
So yeah, I think, you know, that's what I'd like it to be known as.
You give advice to, say, business owners or anyone listening who's thinking about starting their business, or maybe have started but unsure where to go next. What would you tell them to do?
Work that hard that your signature becomes your autograph. Work that hard. Just work harder than anybody else, honestly. Just do it in silence, you know. Just work in silence and everybody will see the results. That's it. I mean, I love business, and if there's anybody out there that needs any help with business, you know, I'm always happy to help people. You know, if anybody's got any, you know, stuck with ideas which way they want to go in their business, I would always happily help people. But yeah, you just got to work harder than anybody else. That is pretty much it. You know what I mean? Get a good team around you. You've got to have a good team.
Yeah, massively.
You know, you've got to have a bit of capital to obviously do marketing. It obviously depends on what you're doing, but you know, in my industry, you definitely need to market, because obviously you need people to know who you are. But yeah, get a good team around you, good wife, and then, you know, work harder than anybody else.
And go for it.
And just go for it.
Should we get Rachel in?
Yeah, I'm going to get her.
So for context, Tom must have mentioned before, but Rachel is your account manager.
Yeah.
So usually we finish with a quick fire round.
Yeah.
She's going to come in and do that.
Okay.
I don't know the questions.
That's
so
fine. How quick is it?
She's got 5 minutes, Matt. Rachel, the account manager for the Meat Man.
I am.
Enjoy it?
Yes, of course.
Would you say he's your favourite client without just putting words in your mouth?
I can't say anything that might upset other people.
Be honest. Don't worry.
No, I actually I sent a message, didn't I, to our group chat the other day, and I said, whenever I come and do a content visit with you guys, say if I feel a bit stressed or anything in the morning, I always, on my drive back, I've always got tunes pumping and I'm singing out loud, and my mood is always improved.
Oh, there you go then.
There we
That's
go.
it.
So
We got that effect on people.
How much did you pay her to say that?
Not much. Steak.
But we always...
Give me 50 free chicken breasts.
Yeah, nice. So obviously we always finish a quick fire round.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. As quick fire as possible, but see how you get on.
Best lube up the old mouth then,
Yeah.
if you're going to fire some quick questions at you.
Right then, Rach.
Okay, right, starting off nice and easy. What is your favourite part of a content visit with me? No pressure.
Not knowing what I'm going to do, and it just could be anything daft, from singing to dancing to doing anything stupid, wearing a stupid outfit. I don't know, like muscle t-shirt, dressing up as a Grinch, anything, I don't know, but anything. I just love you coming and
You just love
creating
the
anything.
surprise.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
When you say things out, sorry, I'm just going to make this not quick fire, but you know when you reel off everything that you've done from a content perspective, from like chasing the sheep round in a snowy field, muscle fit t-shirt, Scouse accent, like, yeah, I'm gonna do a big montage anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. And what's your favourite social media platform?
Well, do you know, like I said to you before, I've never been on Facebook myself, personally, and I'm not on Instagram at the moment. I come off about 3 months ago, because I was just getting drawn into that and I wanted to concentrate on my business. How many times you spend, sorry, I know it's meant to be quick fire, but I'm just...
No.
Obviously we're all guilty of spending time on social media, scrolling, aren't we? And I was thinking, do you know what, I want to spend a bit of time on myself rather than looking at everybody else, you know, and maybe create content where people are going to be looking at you rather than you looking at them. So, but as in, like, I'd probably say Instagram.
Yeah.
I say I've never been a fan of Facebook. Great for business, for ads, and, you know, obviously getting out there, but I'd say I've never been on personally, but Instagram's the one for me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Good choice. If they made a movie about your life, who would you like to play you?
Wow.
We're getting deep.
He's got to be tall, dark, good looking and muscular. Who would that be? Come on.
Mark Wahlberg would be a good one for
Mark
you.
Wahlberg, yeah. He's a little bit small,
He's
but
not, he's
yeah.
not got the height.
Yeah,
From the waist up.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark
Big
Wahlberg's
personality,
good.
isn't he? You
Big
know?
personality. You've got more abs.
Yeah, I got more abs.
For sure.
Not. Daniel Craig's pretty cool though, isn't he?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's pretty
Fancy
cool.
yourself as a bit of a James Bond.
Yeah.
You could be a good
You could throw
Bond.
your hat in the ring for the next one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm going to say Daniel Craig or Mark Wahlberg.
Nice. If you could only eat one type of meat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Chicken.
Simple.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that I'd eat steaks every night, wouldn't they? I probably have 10 steaks a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people might think you're like the Liver King. Remember him?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
You know, well, I suppose he's a fraud.
Yeah, I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah. Was, yeah.
But I think for social media, he like just thinks he goes around eating liver, doesn't he, and raw meat and stuff like that. But yeah,
top off.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that definitely be chicken for me. That's sort of every other day for me. I tend to stay away from steaks, not for any reason. That I prefer chicken.
Fair. Would you rather fight 15 baby goats or a matter baby?
A what baby?
A matter baby.
What's a matter baby?
Nothing, sugar. What's the matter with you?
Is that the last question? No, it's not. Oh, no. Who brought Rachel?
Did you pull that up first?
She's broke the.
I did warn you that you shouldn't have me on the podcast.
Who invited? Rachel's gone for 5 minutes and trashed the place.
The set's ruined.
And asked Tom, "What's the matter, baby?"
Come on, what's the matter, baby?
Final question. Can you give us one word to sum up what it's like to work with Revolve?
One word.
Chaos.
Unbelievable.
Ah, that's a nice one.
Perfect. On that note, we're going to rebuild the set. Tom, thanks for joining us, mate. Absolutely love that. Where can people order their meat?
Head over to www.themeatman.co.uk.